Alright, welcome to another video installment of my collection of oddball cars here. Today I'm kind of a little bit of an update. Got the old Thunderbird out here. A little bit dusty, pardon the dust, but this is going to be just a quick video. But didn't really get this car out really at all this year. It's not been running real well. It runs fair but not great. And last year I had problems getting it to run right. And under the hood of this Thunderbird we've got, of course, a 429 big block, high compression. And probably the source of my evil, I think I rebuilt a carburetor last year, and then I came across this one about a year ago at a swap meet. And anyway, I haven't gotten around to putting it on, but this one here is practically like new old stock. And it's actually the correct one, right down to the tag number on there. And thankfully with Ford big blocks, there's only just a few tag numbers that fit. But the 4300 Ford 4-barrel carburetors, it's sort of hit and miss with those carburetors. Either they work really well or they really don't. And this one is sort of in between. And we're going to probably end up replacing that today. Do a couple other little maintenance items on it. This car unfortunately doesn't get used a whole lot. It's kind of one of those cars that I've had this car a long time, but because of issues with parts availability for these cars, it's almost a car you can't fix if it breaks. And a lot of guys, Ford guys, will sit there and go, oh, all the parts are the same. No, they're not. Most of the parts content on this car doesn't fit any Ford model line car. A lot of the hardware items on these were shared with Lincoln, especially the Continental Mark III. Basically, that's what this car and the Continental Mark III share the same body platform. And even the 70 Continental sedan actually uses a lot of the same hardware. And you won't find that hardware on an LTD or Mercury Marquis. And these cars are just kind of an oddball car because they only made them a couple years. Especially the brake system. This has the Ford SureTrack anti-lock brake control system on the rear wheels. And it still works. But my main big problem is either seems to me to be in the carburetor or possibly in the ignition, which I have a Petronix igniter installed in the distributor. I had a Mallory unit down in there. It was the Mallory, I can't remember what they were called, but it was a Mallory unit that you could buy that went in a factory distributor that had an LED trigger on it. And I like the LED trigger actually better than the magnetic pickup. Seems to me to be a little more accurate and less susceptible to heat. But I also found out too with these Petronix, they are kind of sensitive to the coil, so I may have possibly damaged that. And I have got a set of points over there, brand new set of points and condenser, and I got to order the little wire lead that connects the points up to the coil. And that's made out of special wire. You can't just use any kind of wire on that. That's got to be a real flexible wire. But like test lead wire is usually real flexible. If you don't have, a factory-made wire for it, you can use test lead. But I also had to order one because I don't have the rubber grommet anymore. All of that got pulled out when I changed it over. You can see I've got the there we go, focus down in there. You can see I've got the wire leads out for the Petronix igniter. And points are fine to a point, pardon the pun. But when you get to 12-volt ignition systems, points ignition on a 6-volt car like this 42 Lincoln Continental, which these can be a cantankerous thing to set points up on, or the Packard over here, custom-made Packard, those are much easier. Points last a lot longer on 6-volt cars. And that's because you don't need any kind of resistance wire. And if you have a breakdown in the resistance wire or resistance unit, if you have a ballast resistor like your Chryslers or some of your GMs had, some Fords had them too, that can cause problems with these Petronix igniters. And I've even gone as far as thought I might put a Ford factory 74 up vacuum brake distributor in it with the box and mount the box here on the fender where it would be. That's a possible thought. Those were bulletproof. Those usually never gave any trouble. At least none that I ever experienced in all the years I've been playing with them. But anyway, thought, like I said, I just put up this video update today on a car that I don't feature very often. I may feature this some more in the future. So with that, everyone have a great day. Enjoy the nice fall weather day. It's a little chilly here, but that's okay. We'll see you.